Hello friends, welcome back to I Made Me Think, end-to-end website testing using Selenium, Cucumber and Java. In this particular playlist, I was discussing about end-to-end website validation for a category called Airlines ticket booking. So we saw different features to be considered. We saw different examples. We saw actual end-to-end scenario type 1 type 2, and we were also going through the top layer called feature file layer and step definition. So the next layer is to actually walk through Selenium Java code, Java JUnit code and utilities code walkthrough. Let's start. So as we discussed, the control goes to this test runner file, and then based on the tags which are present here and the feature file path, it actually goes to the American Airlines feature file, and then whatever feature is to be executed, the step definitions methods are getting called. So before starting this second layer code walkthrough of Java, let's see the page factory or page object implementation. So after this step definition, the next layer comes is this class American Airlines.java. Basically this acts as an intermediate layer which actually calls the methods which are present in different page objects. Yes, these are all page objects. So these are the main pages. This is the main page, and then this is the second page. Select date, select flight, price. So if you remember, when we book a ticket, it has to go through these pages. These are nothing but called as page objects. So in the page object model, for each page we have to define different Java files or different page objects and start using it. So the page object or page factory model, the advantage is it is loosely coupled and it helps us to improve writing programming very easily. Let's take an example of select date page. So it has landed on this page called in progress page. If we see in progress page, then if I select, so if you see, there are different stages through which the ticket booking process has to go, and exactly same pages I have created in the Java in the second layer called page object layer or page factory layer. So the advantage using page object model is, suppose in this page now there are not many elements. Let's take this page, select date page. So there are couple of elements here and couple of methods. So if tomorrow, if this particular element, for example flexibility, range flexibility, if this particular element's value or this particular element CSS element gets changed, for example it gets changed to 2, then it becomes easy for programming to just go ahead and update only in this page and not in any other page and start using it. So this is the advantage in page object model. Rather than writing the entire program, entire elements of all pages in one file. So as and when the page count increases or a new page is getting added, we just have to add a new page or a new class here, new page object, start initializing it and just start using it. Let's take an example of this end-to-end scenario validation type first. So here what user does is a simple valid flight search with default parameter for one-way flight, and then performs user validates end-to-end ticket booking case type first from this particular list. The user performs basic valid flight search is nothing but the same thing what we discussed, basic search from one place to another place for future date is flexible, so it's a very default search. And then user performs this particular action, type first 01, type first 02. So let's take this, select first search result and enter user details and continue. So select the first search result, let's say this first search, this is the first search result, and then select. So obviously it will go to the select date page, sorry, select flights page. Select flight page. So what are the methods which are present in select flight page? Which method to call will be controlled from this particular class, because this acts as an intermediate layer from Cucumber layer to actual Java layer. So type first 01, type first 02, type first 03, type first 01, 02, 03. So let's take a look at type first 01. Type first 01, select first search result and enter user details and continue. So it is navigating through different pages, so we need to call the methods which are declared in individual pages, page objects, and get the things done. So it is calling select date page method, and it is calling select flight page method, then it is calling select price page, and then it is calling passenger details page. So remember, enter user details or passenger details and continue. So like this the methods are being called, the parameters are being passed, passenger details are passed in a JSON format as discussed, and so on. So we saw that the second layer control is from this particular class or this particular Java file, and as and when a new page is getting created, we need to just add the page objects, start using it, as simple as that. This is a general page object file, I would say. If the page contains not many elements or not much activity is done on that page. We need to just refer to some few elements on that page. We can just include it here and start using. So what is an abstract page? So abstract page is something which has a WebDriver variable, or which gets initialized with a WebDriver, and the individual page just extends the abstract page and just start using it. Basically, for individual pages, these individual page objects just take a copy of page object and just start using it. That is called abstraction or abstract pages. Now let's take an example of select flight, where there are moderate number of elements and not many methods. So in the selected page or select flight page, we see that there are not many elements to be validated. So elements can be located using element locator. So there are different element locators which we can use: find by, find bys, bys, find all, find bys, find all, and things like that. So we can get a list of web element, or we can simply get a single element. So most of the time the elements are private. The scope of the element is for only this particular page object, but sometimes they can be public also. So how to validate or how to locate an element using CSS or using ID or XPath? So as discussed in the initial videos, the emphasis is given on CSS because CSS, finding element using CSS is faster than XPath, and the coding is also easy. How to exactly find an element? So as I discussed earlier, the scope of this video is for those who have little knowledge on Selenium testing or website testing. There are a couple of videos available on internet where there are good examples given for how to find an element using CSS, XPath, ID, class name, etc. I would request the viewers to Google it and have a look on that. So there are different methods in which these methods actually use these elements and get the work done. For example, type 1 case 1 is the one which we are discussing. So it does operations like click, send element. So if you see, the conventional driver.find element is replaced by the fine-tuned or the simplest way using find by. Reporting. So as discussed, the reporting part is controlled by this particular Cucumber option, format and index.html. So this is a ready-made functionality which is available in JUnit or TestNG, I think JUnit, where it actually shows the result in HTML format. Basically for each step in Cucumber file, it will just specify if it is pass or fail. If it is fail, then what was the exception or what was the error, it will print. Sometimes it can take screenshot, but that is not yet implemented. So let's take a look at a sample output, console output. This is the console output. This is not the console output is not controlled by any plugin, but it is just the system printouts, sysouts, and this particular index.html is the one which will give you the output. So we will see utilities code walkthrough. Reporting part we are saying payment related and Maven dependencies. This is a very fantastic and very simplistic form of the output. As I said, for each step, if the color here is green, that means the step is passed. Let's take okay, so this particular step, test result should be successful or log error message. This is failed because it is not green, it is pink or red. So it will also show where actually it failed and what was the cause. So we can just go ahead and look at that particular this file and this line number and see the code where it is failing, what was the flow of code. At least we can guess. So this is a good example of reporting. Console output is all about textual information. For each step I have inserted a sysout or printf statement in at a regular interval, so that from textual output also we can easily see what is happening, where is the error. So if you see overall pass, everything is overall pass. Fail. So so this is failed, so this particular step is failed, so overall fail. So which particular step is failed, and then unable to navigate to BlackBerry App Store. So using this we can at least guess that at which step the error has occurred, and maybe we can manually go and see if the test is passing manually or if there is an issue in the automation code and things like that.